Hi everybody, Steven here, and I'm back in another Destiny video, and this is the final day of the Destiny 2 beta, and as we all knew that was coming up, that Bungie was going to let everybody into the social space, the farm social space on Earth, for about an hour. I was there for probably like 20 minutes, tried to do a little bit of the soccer, just tried to generally explore, because unfortunately, we saw the IGN tour of the new farm social space a little while ago, and we got to see where some of the vendors were, but there were no vendors in the new build of whatever the farm space. They probably just took them out for, you didn't want to talk to, they didn't want you talking to anybody or anything. It really is just a test. This was a test to just kind of see how maybe the server stood up under stress of, 26 people, because now the new space can hold 26 people. I don't think that was possible in Destiny 1 in the tower. But it was a really good social space. I like it a lot. I guess this is gonna be a review of the new social space. I went in with my friend and explored. It's wide as it is tall. And at one point I was just circling on the outskirts of the map, and I'm in at some point I'm in the woods and I'm just running through the woods. I'm like, maybe there's a ghost back here or something really ridiculous. But I'm just running through that. Again, there are no vendors, so exploration's really the only thing we could really do. A bunch of buildings. We have the landing pad that you come in on. And they've actually, if you double back on the landing pad, there's actually like 3 or 4 ship pads. And I'm assuming that's probably where everybody will spawn in when they drop into the port. We have a house on the left that looks like it could contain, maybe that would be where Amanda goes, because throughout the map you'll see little Sparrow chassis just kind of everywhere, and so it was really hard. It was a fun little game to almost try and pinpoint where everyone would go and where they would be, and I was like, okay, well there's this big shack on the right, it's got the big old Vanguard symbol, so this might be where the Vanguard is stationed, if this is not where Zavala is, or this is where, because obviously we already know that the main 3 will be on different planets, so we don't know what's really going on Earth. Maybe Shaxx will take charge of the, the Vanguard position. But there's the Vanguard barn, if you will, and on the left, I think, is where Amanda's going to end up being, and on top of the left building, there's actually a whole infrastructure of scaffolding and computers and stuff, and you can still turn off and on some of the lights around, because if you really want to annoy the non-existent residents at this point in time. But there's so many workstations, it is really difficult to figure out which ones will be manned, so I only speculate a little bit on where a man is going to be. We know we're going to see the gunsmith, or at least the gun guy. He'll be over in the barn, in the Vanguard barn, as I'll call it. He'll be over there. We know where the Cryptarch is going to be. We know where Eververse is going to be, because they have a nice little EV tent right next to the Cryptarch. We see 2 terminals as well, which look like banks. I think those are going to be 2 banks are going to be. And again, in the left house, I'll show it here, just a little bit of where I think Tyra might be. But there's nice, cool chill locations all throughout the entire map. There's, fire pits behind the left house as you spawn in. There's a fire pit down by the docks behind you when you spawn in. Really, really cool. I hope there's more of a fire effect, because so far there's just nothing. It's just bright. There's no fire in it at all. But that's a cool little social area there. Docks, of course. If you go to the dock area, you'll see a lot of cargo stuff with Dead Orbit symbols on the packages. So maybe this is where the factions or Dead Orbit will kind of assimilate, and we'll see them here. I looked around the map. I really couldn't find any New Monarchy markings or any, Future War Cult markings, but they may be hidden somewhere. They may just be in that general Dead Orbit area, and they just don't have packages. We know that there is a soccer field. You can still play soccer while you're here at the social space, but I think that the hour's already come and gone, so this should be out after the social space ended. But again, IGN did also do a walkthrough, and that is, I also had that little bit of a talk down on that on my channel, so I'll post it up right there in one of the corners. You can go check that out right there. But there's it's really expansive. There's trees and woods and ruins and fallen trees and lakes and high up areas. There's a lot of detail, and I was never so happy to really enjoy a social space for Destiny. Fellwinter Peak was really cool, but this felt like more in depth and better. Again, I liked kind of skirting the outside of the map and going wow, being pleasantly surprised about how deep and how open the social space really was. And obviously, you can go play soccer when someone scores a goal. You'll hear you may have heard fireworks go off. That's when someone's scoring a goal, or I might show that in the video right here. Soccer was fun. The ball doesn't feel like it has the same dimensions that the old one did. It very bouncy, very, very bouncy. It doesn't have a straight of an incline as you would think, but it was still okay. Me and a friend tried to play soccer unsuccessfully. It did not work well. If you continue past the soccer field, there is the transport ship that we've seen in the tower docked outside, but once you try to go out there, you basically are you get a death timer for 4 seconds, and you can't go any farther. I don't know why this is. We could eventually go here. Maybe that's where our first mission is. It would be so cool if we could just go like from the social space out into the open world. Would be super awesome, but I don't think that's how it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work like that at all. But I think this is an A+ on the social space for just a really quick tour here. It's not going to be a super long video, but it was interesting. I couldn't really find, after about 20 minutes of searching, I really couldn't find anything like concrete besides just really beautiful views and really interesting scaffolding and stuff. But it's a cool area. I can't wait to see all the vendors and stuff when the game launches. I wonder if we'll have a second social area. That would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know that we will, but I would assume each planet had one. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's the Destiny 2 video there for, kind of cap out the beta. I think I'll have the strike out as well today. And then tomorrow I'm going to start talking about just probably the general stuff that you've been hearing around the internet. Destiny. It's unbalanced. PvP is ruining PvE. I'll talk about all that stuff in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.